You didn't think we were done for the evening, did you? You didn't think we were done for the evening, did you? Because I mentioned it early on. I mentioned it early on when it came to Ineos. Once this announcement had been made regarding Lenny Yoro, he's now a Manchester United player. It wasn't going to be resting on the laurels. It wasn't going to be, oh, that's just done. We'll have a look. We'll refresh. We'll settle in for the evening. No. It was on to the next one, onto the new one, because once again, and I know I'm pressing this button quite a lot recently. I know I'm pressing it a lot pretty much every single time I go live, but that's because legitimately every time I go live, it's because we've got some breaking news.
Breaking news.
It's becoming an Ineos staple, is what it is. I still need the papers to shuffle though. Yes, we have some more breaking news late this evening because Lenny Yoro, tick, done, finished, moved on. But there has been developments when it comes to the negotiations with Lenny Yoro's agent, George Mendes, because he is the same agent for one Manuel Ugarte. So much so that during the negotiations for Lenny Yoro, during the talks for Lenny Yoro, Manchester United did the small step of agreeing personal terms with the PSG midfielder. Yes, this is a story that has just come in the last couple of minutes from Fabrizio Romano. Ineos truly are not taking any kind of rest or steps to kind of slow down. They are, if anything, speeding right up. Fabrizio Romano tweeting that Manchester United have agreed on personal terms with Manuel Ugarte. Contract terms to be discussed. Player is keen on moving to United even without Champions League football. Club-to-club talks continue with PSG as more clubs have also inquired in the player. But the critical thing here, the key thing, the reason why the talks for Ugarte have been so quick is because they were done parallel with the same guy involved in the Lenny Yoro deal. The same agent as Lenny Yoro, George Mendes. So whilst he's been completing this deal to get the Lille centre-back to come to Manchester United, the now new Manchester United centre-back, yes, we're now going, personal terms have been agreed with Manuel Ugarte. A little bit more on this, coming from Florian Plettenberg, who also, to be fair, in the last sort of day or so, did say, actually, United are really interested in Manuel Ugarte. Expect this one to speed up. Expect this one to actually really pick up pace in the next few days. He has just tweeted saying, as reported today and now confirmed again, Manuel Ugarte is more than keen to join Manchester United with immediate effect. The 23-year-old midfielder has given green light for his transfer to Manchester United. Now Manchester United are trying to find a solution with Paris Saint-Germain. Clubs are in contact. Negotiations are ongoing. So not only now, we're at the stage again that we've been at for a lot of these signings. I mean, the Euro one happened kind of the reverse way, but what we're seeing now is personal terms, they're done. They agreed. I mean, I'm interested to see what more information comes out about a contract, a proposal, that kind of stuff. But now, Manchester United are in direct talks with PSG to find a solution when it comes to this Manuel Ugarte deal, because personal terms already have been agreed. Now, a little bit more on this. Fabrizio Romano is saying that a midfielder will have to be sold in order for Ugarte, the deal to go through. However, it is also being suggested this evening to watch out on the Scott McTominay deal, because that one could be the make weight for this Manuel Ugarte deal. We know that obviously Fulham had one bid rejected. It's interesting to see if they are going to line up a second bid, and is that second bid going to be closer to the asking price that Manchester United were looking for, and is that deal going to be the make weight to allow Manuel Ugarte to sign for Manchester United? Personal terms already agreed, and Ineos moving fast. Very, very fast. So fast it's pretty damn difficult to keep up, but these are good problems to have, aren't they? My, oh my, they are good problems to have. And on top of that, this is, I mean, there's one thing which is just being competent at your job. We're not used to competence. This is on another level. This is in a transfer market that is very slow. This is a transfer market where City just announced their first signing of the summer from themselves earlier on today, and that's about that. Arsenal, what are they doing? I think they got a goalkeeper from Ajax. I don't even know if that's gone through. They confirmed the David Raya one. Liverpool, they're announcing assistant managers or something like that at the moment. Whereas Manchester United, we've already got 2 signings completed through the door. Leny Yoro and Xerxes announced. Now, heads have turned immediately. Ugarte, personal terms have been agreed. Let's talk to PSG and see if we can get a fee together. If we get that fee together, let's have a look at some of the players we're looking to move on. We've already moved on Mason Greenwood. We've already moved on Willy Camboila. We've already moved on Donny van der Beek. Rafael Varane and Anthony Martial have left on a free, as well as some other players have left on a free. We're now looking at, okay, Scott McTominay, is he going to be going? Victor Lindelof, is he going to be going? Harry Maguire, is he going to be going? And the thing is, I've been saying it a lot the last couple of days, anything is possible in this transfer market with Ineos, because the moment we say that's not going to happen, that we can't do that, seemingly every single time we say that, Ineos do just the opposite and make it happen. It's crazy. I mean, I don't recognize... Well, I do, actually. That this whole thing of I don't recognize my team or I don't recognize my club, not in terms of the last 10 years, but in terms of sort of my lifetime, Manchester United in the transfer market were always aggressive. Manchester United, not all the time, but most of the time, got their guy. Manchester United was an attractive club to go to. Manchester United, when they came calling, you tended to, not all the time, as I mentioned, there are very historic people we missed out on, Paul Gascoigne, Ronaldinho, etc., of players that we did miss out on. But most of the time, we got our guy, and we were swift, we were decisive, and it worked out most of the time. And now, I'm not going to say this whole we're back. I'm not going to say, oh, we're winning the Premier League or anything like that. But what I will say is what I said earlier on, which is this is getting a lot of people's attention right now. My goodness me, we saw it with the Leny Yoro deal, with the gaslighting of opposition fans and opposition journalists, because they do exist, opposition journalists trying to tell us how bad the deal was and how much we were overpaying and how much we weren't doing very well. And it's the case here. Through gritted teeth, once again, eyebrows are being raised like The Rock, and people are looking going, well, why aren't we doing deals? Why aren't we getting people? And how come Manchester United are doing these deals? And actually, they're not really overpaying. And actually, how come they're on pretty good wages? And actually, how come, you know, with like Dan Ashworth, we said that they were gonna pay 20 million, right, for Dan Ashworth, and today Duncan Castles is coming out and saying actually Manchester United paid around 3 million quid for him, not 20. Wait, what? But I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. But you realise you've overpaid for the youngster. He's not that good, is he? And you go, oh, is that really the case? Is that really the case? Is that really the situation right now?
You're a liar.
That's exactly what you are. Say it again.
You're a liar.
And actually,
who did you say you were?
Really? Who did you say you were? Why are you getting involved in our conversations?
Who are you?
Yeah, quite literally. Who are you? In fact, we can go through all of the statements right now. We got a statement from Liverpool. We got a statement from Arsenal.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
We got
oh dear.
That was the last one. We got a statement from Newcastle. And as I said earlier on, when it comes to Omar Barada, I read the article from The Athletic in more detail once I finished up the stream earlier about his obsession with signing Leny Yoro. He made it his mission. He made it his opening statement, his opening volley as Manchester United CEO. He said, I start work Saturday, I'm getting this deal done. Thursday, it's done. That's impressive enough. I mean, if he rested this evening, if he rested for the next week or so, Man United fans, considering where we've come from, who we have been previously, we'd say, who are we to complain? Who are we to complain with the work that you've done so far, Omar? You haven't even been in a week. As I said earlier on, I didn't even know my password a week into my job. I'm still learning, which rooms are where the meetings rooms are, how to book a meeting room at work. I'm still trying to figure all that kind of stuff out. I didn't even actually know the directions. I still have to look at Google Maps to go to the office a week in. He's signing football players, some generational talents across Europe. And he's done that and he's gone, I'm not going to rest. I'm going to go get a midfielder. Now we need a midfielder. And also, to get that midfielder, I might have to sell someone. Then I'll sell someone. Then I'll go get rid of him. Scott McTominay, well, in the past, we've not really been able to kind of get rid of those players, Omar. And do you know what he said?
I am the danger. A guy opens his door and gets shot, and you think that of me? No. I am the one who knocks.
He is the one who knocks. Okay? He's the one who knocks, and he's also...
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
That's why. Not resting on the laurels, going straight after Ugarte. And it's not even as if, too. It's not even as if he's the only player now that we've agreed personal terms with. We are now into the same position that we are at with Matthijs de Ligt, whereby with the player, we've agreed personal terms. The only thing now in both of those deals to do is agree a fee and get it done. Now, to agree a fee, and a fee that Manchester United are happy with, we've now got to possibly sell some players, move some players on, which is clearly delaying the de Ligt one. It's a case of, can we get rid of Lindelof? Can we get rid of Lindelof or Maguire? Then the de Ligt one can happen. Probably the same situation when it comes to the midfielders. Can we actually get rid of a midfielder? Then we'll bring in Ugarte. But we're at the touchdown line, as it were. We're right there. We just need to maneuver little things, move some things around. But sort of the heavy lifting on the player side, that's been done. And the speed of which, by the way, they are able to agree these personal terms is also pretty remarkable too, isn't it? I mean, we've seen in this transfer window alone already, they agreed personal terms with Xerxes, they agreed personal terms with Lenny Yoro, they agreed personal terms with Jared Brantwaite, they agreed personal terms with de Ligt, they've agreed personal terms with Ugarte, and that's in the space of a few weeks' time. And the nerve a couple of weeks ago to suggest that we weren't doing things quick enough. In terms of the actual market as well, we're well ahead of the pace of the market. But this is even in a fast market, this is just, again, it's on another level. And to the sort of people that are quite pessimistic and the people that are still saying that I'm not going to get too carried away, don't perceive this excitement and this encouragement as getting carried away. I've got no reservations when it comes to Manchester United's expectations into the season. I still say get top four. That's what we've got to go for. Once again, go far in the cups, hopefully win a cup, win the Europa League, win a European trophy or something like that. That should be the aim. I'm not expecting Manchester United to win the Premier League just because we made 2 signings and we've agreed personal terms with 2 other players. Just because we're moving fast in the transfer window doesn't necessarily mean that, again, we're going to win the league title charge and all of that. What it does show, and I think what you can take from it is its intent. It's intent, and it's Ineos, again, living up to their word. It's Sir Jim Ratcliffe living up to his word. He said it, and I guess because we've been lied to so much in the past, we just go, my bullshit meter's going off. I don't know about that, Jim. Okay, I've been spun some mistruths before, so I'll believe it when I see it. Well, we're starting to see it. Well, as much as we can see already. And some of the mistruths that were put out there, again, about Ineos are just laughable. Already they are laughable. They're just another Glazer. Remember, it's all going to be about this British core. It's Brexit. It's pure Brexit. That's what it's going to be. Farage fever at Manchester United is what it's going to be at the moment, because we're signing all these British players and we're hiring all these British executives, aren't we? With our Spanish CEO, with our German head of director of recruitment, with our signings from the Netherlands and France, and now possibly Uruguay, and also, once again, from the Netherlands. We're just constantly... it's so Brexit at Manchester United, isn't it? And that's why it was kind of laughable, that kind of scaremongering and fearmongering surrounding all of it. And again, there's still a lot of work to do. There's still a lot of things to prove. That's also another part of it. This is one of the steps about can't rest on the laurels, and there is still a lot to do when it comes to moving players out, bringing players in. On top of that, then you have to deliver on the pitch. The new coaching staff's been put into place. Hopefully, they're going to be as competent as seemingly the people off the pitch are at the moment too. Because, I mean, you can't suggest at the moment that Erik ten Hag at the moment isn't being given the tools to go and deliver. Hey, we're backing you. That's the other part of it. Sirens in the chat, of course. That's the other part of it too. This idea of, well, they've extended Eric's contract by a year, but you know they're not going to really back him. They don't really want him there. You know, they don't actually want Eric. You know, it's just purely PR, purely PR. They don't even really want Eric. They don't actually believe in him all that much that he's going to get the best out of the players. No. And it's all Eric signings, remember, too. So all Eric signings, Eric Ten Hag's controlling all of the recruitment. It's not, the other guys are just kind of puppets, even though Omar Barada led the final negotiations. Jason Wilcox flew out to speak to Lenny Yoro. Dan Ashworth was heavily involved. Matt Hargreaves heavily involved because they're all on the same page. They're all on the same page. They're all unified and they're all happy with the players that they're going after. This whole thing about the veto stuff, like the veto thing I mentioned before, I think was so overdone and overplayed that it painted this image of like two factions in a boardroom going, we want this player. Well, I don't, and I'm using my veto card, like they're playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Or something like that. I summon veto. There you go. Slide it across the table. I use my veto card. Boom. And now you must get a player that I've worked with in the past. It's like a riddle. I've worked with him in the past, maybe not recently, but in the past. He must be Dutch, and he must have 7 caps. Who is he? And they go, oh, let's figure this out. Oh, who's that going to be? No, these are all adults in the room. These are recruitment meetings. They're going, right, here's a list of players. Who do we like here? I like that player. Oh, he's good. Is he available? You think you might want to go to Real Madrid? Do you think you can get him? We think we can get him. We can do this. We can do that. That's a competent room of competent people. That is a competent structure at Manchester United. That's what it is. And I keep saying it and I'll keep saying it. That's why these hires, these signings were so important, because they get these things done quickly. And a lot of people right now, get ready, by the way, another thing we're going to see in the next probably... I'm back. Trying to silence me, yeah? They're trying to silence me, is what it is. Disgrace. They're trying to silence me. Where was I saying? Oh, I was in a really good flow as well. I was in a very good flow. I was saying about those guys being in the room. I was saying about the guys being in the room. That's it. I was saying. I was using my Netflix analogy. I was using my analogy that now the Euro saga's done. That's it's like watching a Netflix show. It's not a long series. It wasn't a 30-episoder. You know, when you see the shows from the stage, I'm going to really get into this. I'm going to watch CSI Miami. Never watched it before. I've heard good things. Horatio Caine takes off his glasses, zips out a frame like that, says a one-liner. I like that. That's fun. And then you go, how many episodes in this series? And they go, 30? You go, what am I going to do with that? 30? 30 episodes? It's going to take me months. This, what we've seen with the Xerxes one, and with the Lenny Yoro one, limited series. Limited series. It wasn't about quantity, it was about quality, is what it was about. And at the end of it, you go, that was bloody good. And I tell you what, I want more. I want more. When's the next series out? Or are they working on any other episodes? Are they working on any other series? And they go, wow, it's funny you mentioned that. They've got their next series. It's actually going to launch very soon. It launches later on today. It launches later on today. And you go, what's it about? It's called Ugarte. And you go, oh, I'm interested in that one. I'm interested in that. If it's anything like Euro, then this is going to be good. I've heard reviews are good. I heard reviews are very, very good. And I'll tell you what. I mentioned watch out when it came to Scott McTominay. Okay? I mentioned watch out when it came to Scott McTominay. And I don't know how possible this would be in terms of the valuation of the people that are interested. We know that Fulham are interested, but we also know that... Oh, Richard Minor's tweeting again. I've got to press the button.
Breaking news.
Oh. What a time to be alive, folks. First of all, I'll do it in chronological order. Starting with Florian Plettenberg. I mentioned to you, right at the top of this show, I said, watch out for Scott McTominay. because there is movement on a Scott McTominay exit from Manchester United, beginning with Florian Plettenberg, who has said he has been told that Galatasaray have not yet given hope on Scott McTominay. The 27-year-old is the preferred option to their central midfield, the solution to their central midfield. Galatasaray have the feeling that he is open to a move to their club, and there are serious chances. Therefore, Gala have also initiated talks with Manchester United. The clubs remain in contact. However, Manchester United are still demanding around 30 million euros, which is still too much for them. Contract valid until 2025. So you will say, well, that's Florian Plettenberg. What's he going to say? Blah, blah, blah. Well, Fabrizio Romano has just tweeted, whilst the song was playing there, saying Manchester United working on outgoings with Casemiro or Scott McTominay to make room for the new midfielder. Ugarte is keen on the move. It's up to the club. So as I kind of had heard, I must say, OWEN sources, I'd heard something earlier on before going live, before this Ugarte stuff actually. I had heard something to suggest watch McTominay. And that was basically what I was told. Watch McTominay. Now, I can't say whether that means McTominay's definitely going to leave. I can't say whether that means that's totally close or anything like that. But there is definitely movement now from Manchester United. And there are interested parties regarding Scott McTominay. We know that Fulham had a bid rejected for McTominay earlier on in the window. It was significantly lower than Manchester United's asking price. They're thinking about going in for a second time. Galatasaray are interested. I don't know if Galatasaray are going to be able to actually hit that 30 million euro mark. They might be able to structure something that actually gets close to that. And also the Casemiro one's on the table. Although I do think, as I've said quite a few times, the Casemiro one, I would say that is really 50-50 at the moment. I think a lot of people have overblown the chances of Casemiro going to Saudi. I know the window's just opened, but it would appear that the kind of line coming out from the Saudi PIF is that this year they're more focused on buying players in their prime or younger players. But the problem is with that is not many people in their prime or top young players from Europe or South America really want to go to the Saudi Pro League whilst they're in their prime. So it's a case of, do you have to increase the money even more? Or eventually do you fall back and go to the sort of established bigger names that are coming to the tail end of their career, a bit like a Casemiro? But this one, this whole situation now is very much on. This whole situation with Ugarte, personal terms agreed. With Scott McTominay, interested parties, talks at Galatasaray, a rejected bid from Fulham, and possibly Casemiro if indeed Saudi change their minds. This is all happening. And I think a bit like we saw with the Mason Greenwood deal and with the Lenny Yoro deal, I think these kind of things, the attempt is anyway, is going to do them in parallel at the same time. You know, previously in the past, it would be for United like, oh, we're going to work on just this incoming, then this outgoing, or just this incoming, then another incoming. No, I think what Manchester United's strategy is, what Ineos' strategy is at the moment is, let's get as close as we possibly can with Ugarte. Let's agree personal terms. Even if we can, let's try and actually agree what a fee would look like with PSG. And whilst we're working on that, let's see if we can sell Scott McTominay or we can get a deal very close when it comes to him so we can effectively do them at the same time. Or Casemiro too. And same goes with De Ligt and Lindelof. Like that's, I think, the plan at the moment too is we've got as far pretty much as we can possibly go with the De Ligt deal at the moment, which is personal terms have been agreed. We know the fee that Bayern Munich are looking for, so we're near enough there. We can't do it until we get rid of a player, i.e. Maguire or Lindelof. So whilst we're working on that, let's see if we can get these players out. Let's see if we can move these players on. The moment we do, we then don't have to really do any extra work on the incomings deal because they've effectively been done. We just have to almost click finish, you know, click accept or place bid, send, whatever, however you do it. How do you think they do that, by the way? Do you think they just send an email to like Bayern? We're writing to send an offer of, £42 million. This will be in your bank by tomorrow. Do you think they sometimes when you wait to get paid and you scroll on your banking app and you go like that, you go, it's not bloody come in yet. Oh. Start checking the news stories. Is there any news of like a banking sort of problem at the moment in the news? Is that the issue? Is that the issue? Why? 42 mill's not gone in. It's in stages. All right, 10 million's not gone in. What's not happened? No? What's happened with that? So this is... anything's possible. I need to record some kind of phrase, don't I? That of anything is possible, because that tagline is going to be used over and over and over and over again in this transfer window. And I've seen what some of you guys have been saying in the chat. Actually, let me read out the super chats. I've just been completely monologuing for like 25 minutes. I'm worse than KG. Sanjeet with the super chat, appreciate the contribution, says Flex should go on holiday more often. You know what? I was thinking this. I was thinking when he gets back, I'm gonna say to Flex, I'm like, Flex, because I always say this to him. I go, mate, your timing is, you know, some people say your timing's perfect or your timing's really good. I say to him often, Flex, your timing's horrific, and he's been away. He's not even legitimately been away for a week. He's gonna be back by Saturday, and. In that week, we have signed 2 players and agreed personal terms with another. We've also sold 2 or maybe 3 players, and Jadon Sancho's back in training. Oh, and our CEO has started. Like, oh my goodness me. What timing. It's madness. Kishan's been a member for 13 months, over a year of support. Appreciate you, Kishan says. And Stefan Marcel thought Ineos was moving too slow. Where are you now? United moving like a big club again. We want more. We want more. Hey, I remember Steph was giving me. I thought it was the analogy she used about something about romance, wasn't it? And if you've ever been cheated on or something like that. I'm not sure where it was going, but I must say that it now all doesn't matter. It now doesn't matter. Ineos are moving fast. They're moving fast. Faster than everyone else. My style advisor has been a member for 16 months. Says, big up Owen, you're a ducking legend. Wow, quack quack and all that. Well, actually, there must be if there's not a duck sound on this soundboard, I'll get rid of it. I mean, my goodness me, that was shorter than I thought it was going to be. Thanks. You're a ducking legend. Is this longer? I hope Flex didn't tune into that. I probably would be in a bit of trouble. GJE says, LOL, United got Owen working overtime. Well done. Wow. Look, the pleasure is all mine. Yeah, the pleasure is all mine when it comes to all this. I mean, we're all Man United fans here. This is the stuff we wanted. This is the stuff we asked for. It's been my point for weeks. Why are we trying to find negatives in things that we've asked for? Why are we trying to be pessimistic on things that we've wanted? For years, we've asked. Football people making football decisions, acting like a proper club, being swift, decisive, aggressive in the transfer market. And then we start doing it and we shift the goalpost. Well, I don't know. I'll believe it when I see it. Well, we might be overplaying. I don't know about that. Well, we'll see what happens on the pitch. Well, we lost to Rosenborg and, you know, it was 45 minutes with like 3 or 4 senior players. I'm actually saying 3 or 4 because a couple of them are senior, but they're never playing. And academy players against a team that's been halfway through their season. And we lost that game, so that must mean that we're terrible and we're not learning anything. Ineos out. They're just glazers, is what they are. Eventually there comes a point where it's a bit like, you know what? Things are going all right at the moment. And also, they might not be all right forever. We've seen how quickly a season can turn on its head. We've seen how quickly a season can be shit. We saw it last season. Last season was miserable. And I'm so happy to draw a line on it for a lot of issues, whether it's the manager, whether it's Sancho, whether it's Greenwood, whether it's whatever. Draw a line on it and be like, that was last season. That's done now. We look forward to the future, and we don't know how this season's going to play out. It might be good, it might be bad, but at the moment, things are happening that are quite enjoyable. So let's enjoy it. Let's not try and ruin our own good time, because Lord knows Manchester United have done enough of ruining our good time for the last however many years. So whilst it's going good, we might as well enjoy the moment before it goes bad, because historically it has, but we don't know if that's going to be the case in the future. That's what it is. So we can't be dwelling on the past. We've got to look to the present and the future. And the present right now is 2 signings through the door, several exits, personal terms agreed with a couple of extra players, a game on Saturday, a pre-season tour on the horizon, and some optimism. some optimism, some well-needed optimism, by the way, actually, because I know that obviously we had the FA Cup victory, and everyone that day I think was united and happy, and then after that pretty quickly it got once again a bit, people angry at each other. And I'm not asking for a united fan base, because I know that's not possible. I know that's not feasible, because everyone's got their different opinions and their different point of views, and that should always be the case, by the way. But again, the past is the past now. Last season's last season. We're into the beginning of the next season, really. Pre-season is the beginning of the early stages of next season. And certainly Ineos aren't dwelling on the past. My goodness me. They've assessed the past. They've assessed what they believe to be the critical failures at Manchester United. And they are doing their utmost best to rectify all of them as quickly as they can. Whether it is people at executive level, with so many people going, whether it's CEOs, sporting directors, football directors, chief financial officers, whether it's on the coaching staff, assistant managers and coaches going, goalkeeping coach coming in, whether it's on the playing staff with several people going, several people being sold and other people being brought in, when it comes to the training ground of Carrington being upgraded and renovated, when it comes to the stadium and a task force being put together and deciding what are we going to do when it comes to Old Trafford. We're going to have a new build, we're going to renovate. That decision is going to be coming at the end of the year, and this is in the space of just a few months. Ineos were ratified in February. The deal was done on Christmas Eve last year. So in the space of 7 months, if you want to take a couple of months off there whilst the thing was being ratified, they're moving quickly. They are moving very, very quickly, and this is what we've wanted. It's not going to be an overnight thing. Still going to take some time. But my goodness me, it's encouraging and it's exciting. And I don't really want to press, the Don Robbie thing, because every single time he has said this, it's tended not to work. But you've got to
Believe.
A couple more super chats here. From, did I read that one? GJE said, got me working overtime. Well done. Big up. Appreciate the contribution. Ray says, Ineos don't seem to understand. We're supposed to sign 30-year-olds on the tail end of their career. When will they get the memo from the Glazers? And Ken says, United back on top. Well, I certainly hope so. And look, free signings doesn't mean Manchester United are going to win the league. There's still a lot of gap to make up. And I don't think people should confuse the optimism with things getting over the top, but it's very, very exciting and it's very encouraging. And if people were feeling a bit pessimistic about the season, I think stuff like this makes you sort of buy in just a little bit, doesn't it? And I just, once again, I hope we're playing on Saturday, so playing like 48 hours time in Murrayfield in Edinburgh against Rangers. And there'll be some more senior players back for that one. But by the way, if that don't go great that day, it ain't in the world. All of these signings, even Lenny Oro probably won't be involved in that one. We're waiting for them all to come back. But the key thing is Ineos mean business. Ineos mean business, and people are standing up to take notice. Whether it's the media through gritted teeth. I don't know if you saw a post that was going around on social media. It was from Sky Sports, and it was a Sky Sports post about the Man City deal today and the Manchester United deal about Lenny Oro today. Now, take a guess, chat. Take a guess. Which post do you think included a transfer fee in multiple currencies, by the way? And which post do you think didn't include a transfer fee? Spoiler, it was the one with 115 charges that won the league last season. That one doesn't matter. Don't talk about the transfer fee on that one. But Lenny Oro to Manchester United. Whoa, we got to talk about that transfer fee in multiple currencies too. Because euros, look at them, that's higher because of the exchange. Come on, much higher. Look how Manchester United are grossly overspending. It must be terrible if Manchester United have signed him. Got to get that transfer fee in. That's exactly what we've got to do. And stuff like that, I see it and I like it. And the reason why I like it is because that says to me that we're doing something right. Because Manchester United, whenever we do anything right, even through these dark years recently, whenever we do something right, there's push back immediately. They don't mock us, they try and put us down, is what they do immediately. So with the Euro one, they try and put us down saying you're overspending. Oh, no one actually wanted him. That was the case there. Whether it's the media, they still want to talk about last season, or they want to talk about Ten Hag, or they want to talk about something else. They don't want to talk about the fact that Liverpool ain't signed nobody this summer. They don't want to talk about that. You know, they don't want to talk about how City, they paid themselves. They bought a player from themselves, by the way, which when we tried to do that with Todibo from Nice, Manchester United are ruining football. Can't do that. There must be legislation put in place. Conflict. There's a big conflict here. Can't be doing that. No. I mean, I know they're in the same competition and Troyes are not, and there's little bits of subtle differences there, but it's really not that different. But they don't want to talk about that. They don't want to do that. No. That's what they don't want. They don't want that. They don't want to do that. So with all of that stuff going on, I go, hey, looks like we're on the right track a little bit, doesn't it? Looks like we must be doing something right. And even those people that hate us through their gritted teeth have to admit, and I have seen them start to admit, going, Man United actually kind of doing some good stuff in this transfer market. They say it very, very, I mean, it's like proper, you know, close to the mic settings. It's like, United doing quite well, actually. It's like that. It's that kind of subtle, you know, proper, you know, good on the earphones kind of one. They don't shout it. It's not projected. It's very, yeah, they're actually doing all right. That's what it is. And I like it. Good. No problem. A couple of super chats here. Ethan says, paying what we did for Euro is better than getting rinsed by Everton for Branthwaite. I mean, it's funny, isn't it, as well? You get the Twitter tacticos as well. You can pick any stat to make anyone look better than anyone, can't you? So they were going like, oh, wow. If you actually look at Jared Branthwaite last season, did more long passes than Lenny Yoro. Oh, I wonder fucking why. He plays for Sean Dyche. Well, obviously he's going to do longer passes than anything like that. In that case, let's get Jordan Pickford in instead of Onana. He kicked the ball longer than Onana last season. Let's do that. Oh my goodness me! But again, it's good. That's good. That means that we've
done okay.
That's what it means. Yeah. And that also, by the way, means when it comes to the pre-season, a bit like Saturday, that's why Monday, that's why it pissed me off so much, because don't let them get under your skin. Don't buy in, because they tried it again on Monday, the media. Manchester United lost to Rosenborg. In their first game of pre-season, and it'd be like Rosenborg finished mid-table in Norway last season. Manchester United in the Ineos era. And you go, all right, okay. Do you want to share any other context about the match or anything like that? No. We've got to get the clicks. We need the clicks. Elon's going to give us, you know, the big check at some point. That's what it's going to be. So no, we're not going to do that. And if we win, like say when we play Rangers in the preseason, let's say we win that game, you're going to cover that one? No. No, why? No one cares. That's not what's going to happen. No, not going to. You're going to cover it when other teams lose in pre-season then? Is that what you're going to do? No. Don't really want to. So, don't really connect. No, I'm not. All right. Guess it'll be a quiet day that day then, I suppose. Maybe. That's what we'll do. Interesting indeed. But there you go, guys. Hey, I would say I'll see you again in the morning. Who knows? I might see you again tonight. The way things are going at the moment, I'm going to have to set my alarm clock for every 2 hours or something like that. It's non-stop. So that's why I say now is the time to subscribe, and now is the time. Click that notification bell. You'll be notified whenever we go live, whenever a new video gets uploaded, because this is the time of the year that like timings of the shows and all that kind of stuff, they properly go out the window. Not only with transfers, but also because once Flex, KG and Josh fly out on the preseason tour of America, we're operating across 2 time zones. So they go up really late at night or really early in the morning. And obviously the watch-alongs happen quite early in the morning too. So now is the time, if you haven't already, click the notification bell. Be sure to subscribe. Click the like button too. really just help us out with the algorithm, and shares it out to people that have never seen a UV before. So it is much appreciated. And I will be back tomorrow morning with KG the Comedian. I wonder if he's got a song ready for Ugarte. I did see that once again he got the news on during his stream on his channel. Be sure to check that out. So and I think he might have had another flip-flop again. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, be sure to check it out. English Oak says, any Olympic event watch-alongs football? I am going to do some Olympic stuff if I get the time on playback. If I get the time. But as you can see at the moment, it is mad. It is mad at the moment. But if we get the time, we'll try and fit it in. We'll try and do it. Anyway, guys, appreciate you tuning in over the last couple of days. It has been crazy. And I don't suspect it will stop anytime soon. I put out a tweet yesterday and I said, what a crazy day. Who's ready to do it tomorrow? And I'll ask again, who's ready to do it tomorrow? Because I guess what? I think it's going to happen again. I'm out of here. Have a good one. Peace.